Star Wars Rebels came back with the premiere of the second half of the final season, and man, did it come back with a bang. We have got to talk about the sacrifice that was made by one of our characters. This is a spoiler warning. We're going to get into it, so you gotta leave. Are you still here? Okay, I warned you. Kanan died. Holy crap, guys, we've got to talk about this. What is up, YouTube? It's Josh. This is the Den of Nerds. If you like Star Wars, subscribe to this channel and come back on Sundays. Sundays are Star Wars Day here on the Den of Nerds, dropping a bonus video and a brand new episode of Nerds Talk Star Wars. Definitely going to be going more in depth on the Rebels comeback in that episode, but I still want to do a little bonus video here to give my reaction and talk with you guys about what transpired in the two newest episodes of Star Wars Rebels. Real quick, I want to shout out Jack Thomas, who got the nerd card question correct on my latest Kylo Ren video. Dude definitely knew how old Yoda was when he died. Congratulations and shout out to you, Jack. There will be another nerd card question at the end of this video. Okay, let's get into this. So this episode here, coming back with Rebels, just completely epitomizes why I think Dave Filoni is such a good storyteller. This episode was just brilliantly mapped out, and while there were some foreshadowing of what was going to happen to Kanan, the story flowed in such a way that you didn't quite anticipate it, right? Like, I wasn't quite expecting it to happen. When it ended up happening at the end of the episode and he used the Force to save everybody, sacrificing himself, it was a real shock to me. I did enjoy a lot of the Thrawn that was in this episode. Within these two episodes, really, you get a lot of good Thrawn. He sort of has to leave and go to Coruscant to talk to the Emperor, which was really cool. Governor Price then makes mistakes, essentially destroying what the TIE Defenders, what was going to be a masterstroke for Thrawn, and she's going to get reprimanded by Thrawn when they come back. Okay, so let's focus on the sacrifice of Kanan himself. Like I said, I'll do a full breakdown of everything that happened in these two episodes on this week's episode of Nerds Talk Star Wars. But for Kanan, man, what a crazy journey we've been on with this character. From New Dawn to the Caleb Dune Kanan novel, graphic novel, which was an ongoing series, but when they collected it, it's so good. So I highly recommend everyone goes out and checks that out. But if you've been in it like I have, this Kanan Jarrus character has been amazing. He is Han Solo meets Luke Skywalker. He's a Jedi and a smuggler, and watching his growth over time and him sort of overcome the obstacles in his life and just grow closer to the crew of the Ghost and become a Jedi, truly become a Jedi, and have a Padawan in Ezra, and interact with Maul and the Bendu, and just such an amazing story that this character has been creating for himself. And Freddie Prinze Jr., hats off to him for all of the great performances that he gave throughout the series, and what a way to finish it off. Now, he does the shaved head thing. He shaves his head, and I think he was really trying to look like the first time that he saw Hera, when he and Hera were, back in the day just getting together. I think he wanted to evoke those feelings in her. But also there's something about a Jedi sort of going in to do the last rite, right? And dressing a little sharper, cutting their hair, being prepared for death and for battle. And originally, just to make a reference to The Last Jedi, that is what I thought Luke was doing when I didn't think he was a hologram at the end of the movie. I actually thought, okay, he's cleaned up because he's here to die, and that's sort of like the Jedi way. So Kanan sort of repeating that, very, very awesome. Now, then he literally showcases such prowess and wisdom when he comes in and saves her. And of course, we have drugged Hera and them sort of having their love connection play out, and we finally get the kiss, right? They've sort of been teasing us with that for a long, long time. We finally get the omission of love, and then this moment where Governor Price, you know, fires onto her own facility, the own fueling thing, and you just see Kanan step forward. I mean, man, what a powerful moment. I couldn't believe it, the way he was able to hold back the explosion, and then with one hand look back and force push Hera back onto the ship, and then as the explosion's happening, to use all the strength that he had left to thrust the ship away, protecting them. Man, it was just such a great moment and so cinematically brilliant. You know, I really do wish that they would give Filoni a shot at live action. I think that the way this thing was paced and the way it was directed at the end was legendary. I mean, literally, this to me is on par with anything that Luke Skywalker did in The Last Jedi. This was an incredible show of, you know, the strength of the Force, his emotions when his eyes come back and he can look at Hera one last time. Just so much like mythic, awesome stuff happening here, and his sacrifice completely warranted because not only does he save Hera, Ezra, and Sabine, but because of what happened there, and because Governor Price was so hell-bent on killing the Jedi, the TIE Defender program is going to be delayed, maybe inevitably. I mean, the ramifications of that are huge. It literally could help the Rebels win the war. It sets up stuff in the original saga that I think when you look back now at those films, you'll be like, well, look, if Kanan hadn't done this, if this hadn't happened, things would have been way different. And that is such a nice piece of lore and history to be attributed to this character. I thought it was absolutely incredible. So those are just my quick thoughts on the sacrifice, guys. Please let me know in the comment section, what did you think about the sacrifice? I mean, have you been with Kanan for a long, long time? Did this break your heart? Do you think it was at least a really good send-off? Because I tend to believe that. And I mean, what do you think the Ghost Crew is going to do now? You know what I mean? We saw in the second half that they have formulated a plan. You know, you get the talking wolves and stuff like that. But I mean, what are they going to do now that they no longer have Kanan? You know, answer that and more in the comment section below. All right, let's check that nerd card really quickly. I want to know, who is the actor that does the voice for Rook, who is, of course, the personal assassin of Grand Admiral Thrawn. This person that does that voice is, you know, Star Wars family, Star Wars alum. You probably know him, you probably love him. But what is the name of that actor that voices Rook in Star Wars Rebels? Answer that question in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and nerdy day, and I will see you in the next video.